In the heart of Mumbai's bustling financial district, there lived a man named Arav Kapoor. By most standards, he had made it founder of a mid-sized logistics company that had turned profitable in just 5 years. But Arav wasn't satisfied, not because he was greedy or ungrateful, but because he sensed something deeper. He had been thinking like a manager, not a leader, reacting to change, not creating it. That realization hit him on a random Tuesday morning when one of his top clients unexpectedly pulled out as panic spread through the office. Arav found himself calm not because he had a solution, but because he finally saw the problem. He had built a good business, but not a visionary one. That day, he locked himself in his glass office and scribbled 5 words on the whiteboard. Think like a leader. Act like a visionary. For days, he obsessed over those words. What did they really mean? A leader, he discovered, doesn't just manage teams, they shape culture, build people, and spark belief. And a visionary, they don't just look ahead, they look beyond. They imagine a world that doesn't yet exist and make it feel inevitable. That week, Arav decided to do something radical. He called an all-hands meeting, not to talk about losses, but about a dream. He painted a picture of the future where their company wouldn't just ship goods but would be the brain behind smarter cities. Intelligent transport, green delivery, predictive logistics powered by AI. His team was stunned. Some laughed, some looked confused, but some his future leaders leaned forward. If we're going to survive the future, he said, we must create. He didn't have the funding. He didn't have the tech. But he had clarity, and clarity has gravity. Slowly, people aligned. He hired not just for skills but for mindset-hungry, curious, relentless learners. He restructured teams, decentralizing decisions and empowering young talent. He invested heavily in R&D, even when profits dipped. He began partnerships with startups, universities, even his competitors. Why? Because visionaries don't compete, they collaborate to elevate entire industries. Within 3 years, the company was unrecognizable. Their predictive algorithm for delivery saved clients millions. They launched India's first zero-emission urban transport hub. Arav became known not just as a CEO, but as a thought leader, invited to global forums on sustainable infrastructure. But it wasn't all smooth. There were quarters with red ink, product flops, team exits. Yet every time he hit a wall, Arav returned to the same mantra: think like a leader, act like a visionary. Leadership helped him weather storms, vision gave him direction through the fog. One day, his young COO asked, "How did you know all this would work?" Arav smiled, "I didn't. But I knew what would not work: playing small, thinking safe, leading without dreaming." That night, he updated his whiteboard. This time, it read, "Real leaders don't follow the vision, they become it." Years later, Arav stepped down, handing the reins to very COO. As he packed his things, he left behind it. Years later, Arav stepped down, handing the reins to that very COO. As he packed his things, he left behind a sealed envelope labeled, "For my successor." Inside was a single line: "Keep dreaming, but don't just dream, build the dream." That was Arav's legacy: not just a profitable company, but a generation of visionaries who once worked under a man who dared to think like a leader and act like a visionary.